Hello children, welcome to again a new lecture for social studies. Okay, so as today is 18th of August and we're going to see as we have started the chapter number 5. So as yesterday we have seen 4 types of the phases of the moon. So today we are going to see the last phase of the moon. So today the topic for today's discussion is the full moon day, which is the last phase of the moon cycle from the topic Earth's natural satellite. Okay, the 5th phase of the moon, that is full moon day. So let's discuss today's topic. Yes, so here it is, students, as you can see, this is the, as we have seen yesterday, we have seen the new moon day, crescent moon day, then we have seen half moon day, the gibbous moon day. Okay, now today we are going to discuss about the full moon day. So this is the phase of the moon which appears on the 14th day. The gibbous moon day is occurred on the 10th day, and again after the 3 to 4 days it shows the phase of the full moon day. We can see the moon entirely. The entire moon is visible from the earth. So this phase occurs after the completion of the entire phase. For reaching the shape of the full moon, it takes around 28 days. That you have to underline. That point is important, that you have to underline this. So the full moon day phase, the full moon phase occurs once in every 28 days, and the moon is it appears bigger. So when the moon cycle goes on, when it revolves around the earth, when the moon cycle is going on, it appears to get bigger. So when it feels like it is getting bigger, it is called what? Waxing moon. See, this is what given here. So when the moon appears to get bigger during the moon cycle, okay, it is called as the waxing. So as the shape of the moon gets bigger and bigger, that is known as waxing moon. Okay, and this phase occurs when the moon changes from new moon to full moon. So as we have already seen, new moon means the moon is not at all appeared, okay, and then it ends up with the full moon. So that changes of moon from new moon to full moon, okay, which is known as, the shape of the moon gets bigger and bigger, then it ends up to the full moon day, which is known as waxing moon. And this phase occurs when the moon changes from new moon to full moon, and it takes around 14 days to complete one entire revolution of the moon. And when the moon appears to get smaller, as we have seen that when it appears to be bigger, it is known as waxing moon. In the same way, simultaneously, when it appears to get smaller, okay, it is called what? Waning moon. Okay, and this phase occurs when the moon moves from full moon to new moon. So when this entire process, that cycle, just goes on from new moon to full moon, then again from full moon to new moon, okay, this is known as that cycle, moon cycle. Okay, so when it starts converting from full moon to new moon, when it rotates back, when the shape gets back into the new moon from full moon to new moon by phase, okay, what happens? It becomes smaller. The shape of the moon becomes smaller and smaller. For that also it takes 14 days. So in total, as it says, 14 from new moon to full moon, then again 14 from full moon to new moon. So that's entire, the 14 plus 14, 28 days. So the entire process takes 28 days to complete for the moon. Okay. Yes. Now let's see about the surface of the moon. How is the surface of the moon? Okay, as you can see in the picture over here. See, this is the surface of the moon. It is very rough. It has got very rough surface, and it is covered by dark gray dust. And in the surface of the moon you can find mountains, then valleys, plains, means the vast plains. As you can see, not that plain, I'm not talking about flight. Okay, I'm talking about plains, the plainy areas like mountains. Okay, then big craters on the surface of the moon you can find there, and the craters are created by the collisions of asteroids. Okay, by the collisions of asteroids. Now what do you mean by craters? It is like see, you can see in the picture itself, it is given. See, like a bowl type it is given, like hole, means it appears to be like a bowl. It is known as craters. Okay, the craters you can see on the surface of the moon. Okay, and the craters are created by the collisions of asteroids, comets and meteorites. So what do you mean by collisions? What is the meaning of collisions? The meaning of collision is when the meteor, asteroids or comets, they hit the surface of the moon. Okay, or violently. Okay, when it strikes on the surface of the moon, as moon is moving, when it hits, or we can say the one object, or if we can say it strikes violently against each other. So when this meteorites, asteroids and comets, when they strikes on the surface of the moon, which is known as what? Collisions. Okay, that is what the meaning of collision is. So that collision of this asteroid, comet as well as the meteorites, when this happens, when it is created, when the collision of these three, asteroid, comet and meteorites, is created, okay, these craters are formed on the surface of moon. So the craters are created by what? By the collisions of asteroid, comets and meteorites on the moon surface. And as I have already said, moon doesn't have water or air. Okay, so there is no air or no water. So as we can see, for example, if I say there is no sound also in the moon, how we can say? Because in the earth, as earth has air, okay, so for hearing something we need air. So air is we can hear something as we have ears to hear something. Okay, so we hear something only because of air only. Air helps us to listen or to hear something. But when we go into moon, there is no air, so the listening is also not possible on the moon. So due to absence of air, sound is also not available. That is what I told you. So due to the absence of air, sound cannot travel on moon surface. There is no sound on the surface of moon. And also due to absence of atmosphere, there is no atmosphere. As we have seen on the surface of the earth, in the previous chapter we have seen on the chapter number 1, that atmosphere is covered on the surface of the earth. In the same way, on the surface of moon there is no atmosphere. There is absence of atmosphere, and days are very hot and nights are very cold. So as there is no atmosphere, the rays or the heat of the sun means it falls on the moon. That is why when the light reflects, or the heat of the sun reflects on surface of moon, that part is totally, suppose if we take this example, see here, this light is occurred due to the heat of the sun. Okay, this part is entirely the light of the sun. So this part of the moon would be very hot, and the other side here also, this is the darkest part of the moon. So this part is the coldest. Why? Because here the light of the sun is not reached, and this is the light of the sun, and so this part is totally hot and this part is totally cold. So this is what, so the also due to the absence of atmosphere, days, so here we can say this part appears to be day, this part appears to be night. So the days are very hot in the moon and nights are very cold, so thus making it impossible for life to thrive on the moon. Thrive means the life cannot be, we cannot live on the moon. The life does not exist on the moon. Why? The reason is because there is no atmosphere, okay, and the days are very hot and the nights are very cold, and they don't have clouds also. That is also one point. Moon doesn't have clouds. That is also an important thing. Okay, you might not be knowing, it is not given in textbook, but it is exactly true. Moon doesn't have clouds. Okay, as it does not have atmosphere at all, they don't have clouds also. We cannot see clouds on the daytime, and days are very hot and night are very cold. So this is what the short we have understood regarding the description of moon, how moon appears. It is a very rough, okay, in shape, it is uneven, okay, and there are many craters that on the surface of moon. They are created by how collisions, as we have seen, the striking of asteroids, comets and meteorites. The moon surface is filled with these craters, okay, and there is absence of air, sound cannot travel, and there is also absence of atmosphere. So as there is absence of atmosphere, the days are hot and the nights are cold. So thus it makes impossible for a life to thrive on the moon. So there is no life, no human being. So no human being can survive on the surface of moon. Okay, this is what. And now let's see little more things about moon. What is that? The moon's gravity is about 1/6. See, the 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. Okay, it is 1/6 part. The 1/6 part of Earth's gravity. So there is moon's gravity is about 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Means it is very weak. The gravity of moon is very weak. Not as much gravity as the Earth has. Okay, so although its gravity is weak, and it has noticeable effect on the Earth. Okay, the moon and the sun exert gravitational pulls on the Earth. The moon and the sun, they exert gravitational pulls on the Earth. So what do you mean by exert? Exert. Okay, the meaning of exert is apply. Okay, to apply or to bring to bear. This is what the meaning of exert is. Okay, moon and sun applies the gravitational pulls on the Earth. You have to underline this. Okay, it might be asked in the pillar. And however, what happens? The moon is closer to the Earth than the sun. Okay, the moon exerts a strong pull. As what is the meaning of exerts? I already told you. Exert means to apply or to bring, to force. Okay, so this causes water and seas, oceans to rise. So as moon is closer to the Earth, the moon exerts, it pulls, or it you can say it brings into force the gravitational force of moon, and this causes the water in the seas and oceans to rise, as I have already told you. This is known as what? High tide. When that gravitational force of moon pulls the rivers and oceans of the Earth, it is known as the oceans and seas rise. Okay, this is known as high tide, and High tide occurs due to what? Strong attraction between earth and moon when they come closer to each other. And low tides occur when they tend to be far away from each other. When moon and earth, it becomes little far away, there comes low tides. Means there is low amount of gravity of moon when they are far away. Okay. So the intensity of tides vary with different phases of moon. So that tide also is dependent on about different phases of the moon, and high tides occur on new moon and full moon days. Okay, and the earth's rotation also influences the tide. Okay, the gravitational pull of moon is mainly responsible for the occurrence of high and low tides. So this is what the entire description of the moon was. We have understood what is full moon, and we have understood about the surface of the moon. So that's all for today. You have to read the today's portion, that is this 2-page number, this full moon part, whole part of this full moon. Okay, and read the entire textbook properly. As I have made you underline some points that you have to note down, means you have to keep in mind. Study well. Take care.